This is today's Thursday Thought. This is your good friend and good brother, Dr. Cortez D. Sims, and I am a behavioral health, a mental health coach and counselor. And today I would like to talk about when love is active. Always examine yourself first. When love is active, always examine yourself first. But before I get started, I want to let you guys know that it was good to be back. It's good to be back in the swing of things, just to drop a Thursday nugget. I considered that Thursdays will be a good day to kind of drop it when it kind of hits me kind of fresh. And whenever this video hits you, I hope that it gives you some insight, enlightenment, another way to look at it, different perspectives, being very encouraging, but most of all, very inspiring to bless your soul. Your soul encompasses of your mindset, your willingness, and your emotions. So that encompasses, oh my God, almost everything. I also want to kind of promote the book of the month, which will be one of my books out of my last copies of that I produced a lot on last year, and it's still blessing a lot of people home. It's called Qualified But Not Preferred. I hope you can see that, and that's me. And it's a cause for being yourself. But I definitely want to let you know that this book is available on Amazon.com, or you can make a gentle purchase and order directly from me, which is off of my website, www.drcortezdsims.com. You can make your purchase there. But this is a great self-help. It's a great book to be inspired by. It will open up your innermost sight. Open up your heart to look at you and look at the value that you possess and that you carry, that God put in you already. But look, when love is active, I was just kind of thinking about this past weekend nationally across the world. It was Valentine's Day weekend. And a lot of people, as I was telling a class that I was just facilitating earlier, that that's one of those weekends that a lot of pressure hits people. And the pressure of determining who remembered me, who considered me, who forgot about me, who loved me, and if love is what this love is supposed to be, did they show it? And then in what manner was it shown towards me, and all of that type of stuff. Everything was towards us. But love gives, So it kind of boils down to, if we spend more time with giving the love, then we can really lose sight on what I need to be looking for love from somebody else, or measure the amount of love that they're supposed to have in their heart, as in like what kind of capacity of love are you giving back to me because of this pressuring day. And so I want to talk about when love is active. Like, how do you know when love is active, when it's actively going? And I think the first thing to do is to always examine yourself first. Examine yourself first when love is active, or if it's infatuation, if it's something that's lustful. It's just important. I was conducting a class and I was talking about what is love, because someone raised a question in my class, and I said, well, let's talk about self-awareness, the things that we need to be aware about. The things that we need to be more conscious about. Awareness is consciousness, and what I need to walk forward with, what is in the front of my mind, not just the subconscious, which is, as we call it, in the back of our mind, those thoughts that are just sitting there that needs to be confronted. And so when I'm talking about, well, when love is active, how do you know when love is operating? Because first of all, love is an action word. It's definitely an action word. And so when things are in operation, let's get things going. So what I said was, well, I think there's about 6 things. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Love is action. Clearly. It proves. It is demonstrated. Love is caring, as in it has support. It demonstrates support. Love has great respect. Love is respect, which means it has regard. It is honest. Respectfully, it will definitely give you some honesty and a great amount of genuity. Love honors. It esteems. It builds. It has, it's definitely something that is reverence. It's something that is highly respected. Something that needs to be a priority. Love also protects. It guards. It doesn't want anything to harm it. because it is just protective of its natural state. And the last thing is love provides, and anything that provides is supplies. Okay, you can be a great provider, and providers within given provisions is supplies. When you protect, you are very guarded. But that's what love does. And you have to ask yourself, before I look at someone else and see what is being given to me, what is being shown to me, and how somebody loves me. Well, give yourself a nice examination of what you give out, and then when you give it out, do you give it in a way that you look for something to come back? And that's the danger of a weekend like what we just had. When I do this, am I doing this in a way of, well, you should be giving me something back because I gave you something. And that's the wrong way to continue to operate, because you will set yourself up for disappointment, because there's a place and a spot of expectation that you put there. And when you put that expectation, now you have a lot of contingents. I'm doing this contingently upon doing this for this person, and let me just see what they're going to do for me. I'm doing this because all the things that I did for you, you couldn't even at least go to the store and give me a box of candy. Wrong attitude. Because if that's the case, ultimately what love is God. And God gave. God gives. God provides. He protects. He honors. He respects. It's all action. And so when it comes to what love is, and that's just 6 things, I can go all day long, but my Thursday thought does not supply that much of time for me to give it to you without losing your attention. But when love is active, when it's in operation, it's beautiful. And you can tell when love is not active, because it's the opposite of everything that I just mentioned. Provides. It doesn't provide. It doesn't supply. It doesn't protect. It doesn't give honor. There's disrespect, there's no caring, and there's no action. And even in marriages, I will even go here, which is a risky, touchy subject, because even with my own experiences, I measure, okay, if I'm operating the way the ultimate love person is, which is God, and He gave, and then you believe in His Son, you believe in me, if you go the Christian route. But even if it's God, this is love people. Love gives. Love does not hurt, because it's in activation. Now, the deceit, the contingents, the motives, I did this because I did this to you, so you need to do this to me. That's a lot going on. And that's when we get very convoluted about the whole subject matter of what love does. And we do a lot of things based upon what I did for you. But what we have to kind of shift into, what I want to talk about today, is what is my love blessing you for? And what is it doing to help you to rock and roll and become a better person in your element? And so when I've concluded my great conversation with these couple of people that I was talking with, it was a great understanding. And they were like, oh, you know what? I don't even know what love is. And they have a huge family and they have children. And a lot of people believe because you have children, you have a fiance, you have a husband, that love is going on. Well, there are animals that does that out of instinct. Animals do that out of just being reproductive, So we can't go by this is just a human thing. And that's just life. That's just human nature. And it's just the nature of just anything that is breathing that has life. But I just want to let you know that, please, whatever you do, always examine yourself. And that will really get you off of the expectations of people to be reciprocal on demonstrating love to you. And then that's when you become damaged. You get hurt. You find yourself sad because you're looking for something to finally come back to you. But this is how you have to look at it, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude. When you're doing it from your heart, with the tips that I just gave you, and you're doing it in the way that God looks at it. Hey, I'm doing it because I'm so happy that I have it in my being, in my possession, in my hands to give it. And I get excited about what it's going to do for you. And that's all. And I move on. And you do that with no expectations at all. It will definitely alleviate. It will escape you from expectations that you were like, well, I'm doing this so I can throw a hint to maybe they would give back to me. It would take you from all of those different things that would be matters of the heart then. because now you're in a place that anybody can step over you. They can step on you, and then they would say some interesting things to you that maybe don't even involve you in the first place, but this is what's going to come out of them. And on the other end, as a giver, now you have been pushed into a position that you're making a decision on. I don't think I want to give to that person again. I don't think I want to even do this no more. Who cares anything about these days of pointing out who love and a day of concentration on love and all? It's just too much. And you have to put boundaries up around yourself, and don't do things the way the traditionals of your family or the traditional ways of doing things with everyone around you. That's not going to be helpful for you. It's going to be very, very hard to be able to walk in a place of conquest, to go further in your life if you put expectations on things that you've done for people. So when love is active, you do it, and you do it with a grateful heart. You give because you're so excited that you had it to give. You gave it because you gave it from a place of with no expectation. You gave it because you just want to see them light up like a Christmas tree. You want to see them feel like, wow, God is using anybody to just remind me that he is love, and he has people that demonstrates love as imitators on his behalf. You know, they teach us in mental health as coaches that we are imitators of God. So we try to imitate what he already demonstrates, if you catch that. And he demonstrates his love through people, you know, and the ones that does not connect with him, the ones that does not believe in him, the ones that does not subscribe to what he teaches and what he demonstrates, because they're so indifferent or disconnected to that type of teaching and demonstration while we are here in the earth, they would miss out on the other essence of the other side of the thing that goes, love is action, and love starts with me. I can only love my neighbor as I love myself. Okay, which means what? I have to love and do a self-examination of myself first and see, have I been very demonstrative on my love giving? Do I have certain preferences, who I want to love and who I really like? Am I prejudiced in my love giving? You know, how much of a racist I've been on being selective on what type of person and what type of genre do I want to give this type of displaying of love that gives action, that proves it, that shows caring and support, that has a great amount of respect, regard, and honesty, that also honors and esteems, that is very protective, and then they guards. And then whenever they provide, it's going to supply. And then there are not limits on how they supply. Okay? Yes, it may be some careful ways to budget for certain things, but it's not because somebody would be abusive against all of these things, and that is not love. When you take advantage, take for granted, and you abuse, when you stretch it, when you are disrespectful to anything that shows that type of love, then love is not active. But love is active when all of these things are demonstrated and more. And what I've said was quite loaded. It's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there it can go on and on and on. So share this with your people. Share it with them and ask them, is your love active? You know, is love is like, hey, I want to take you out to dinner, and there's no catch. You know, many of us is like, okay, well, I'll go, but what's the catch? Well, what if there is no catch? And many of us can't even recognize when love is being demonstrated, when love is being active, when it is already activated, because we're not used to it, or when it is there, we're not used to even seeing what those quality tips are. So I just thought I'd drop you some tips. I'm not going to keep you at all. Please pass and share it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel that I have, Dr. Cortez D. Sims. Please subscribe and like and subscribe to the Facebook channel and the platform that I have for that. Don't forget to audiobook Dr. Cortez Sims, Qualified but Not Preferred. Cause for Being Yourself is a great book. It's not a long read at all, but it's definitely a healthy, very, very catchy, very comical, very meaningful book. So have a great, great weekend. And remember, don't let yesterday or this past Sunday, February the 14th, 2021, damage your forward movement for the rest of the year. There are people waiting on you that need to see your love in action. And so, but make sure that you examine yourself first. Thank you. Have a great weekend.